It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got a pair of teams who met each other in Super Bowl 25. It's the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills, and it's coming up next.
That's what it is! That's what it is!
From the home of the Bills since 1973, we are at Highmark Stadium, just south of downtown Buffalo. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Got to hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Tracy trying the right side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first 2 plays.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Back deep is Brandon Codrington. Take it at the 37. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Well, the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads. Everything in between. He is an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Allen running the option to the left. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Now Allen. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here's Allen. Coleman has it here right side. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Josh Allen. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Escaping a tackler at the 25. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like in the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Motioning to the left is Robinson.
Wilson.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. Right back to Tracy.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Now Wilson. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Second down and a yard.
Wilson now off the bootleg. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joey Bosa, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now it's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Ed Oliver, that time the one to get in there and bring him down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down.
On fourth down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Gano's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Coleman, the man in motion right. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen.
That's going to be caught. It's Palmer.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10, as they've got it as we resume action. Allen.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, It could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To the air, Allen. Right back to Cook for another completion. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Here's Allen to throw it.
Pass complete to Shakir along the sideline.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're given.
Brian Dable reaching for that challenge flag, and he's going to have the officials review this call. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Throwing now is Allen. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Khalil Shakir
From 8 yards out.
And the Bills add 6 to their lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was all polished off with a Khalil Shakir touchdown catch. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And now out come the Giants. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson.
Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
Tracy going to get it on first down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Gano's kick is good, and a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well,
yeah.
Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
Allen now looks to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now Allen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe somebody to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Here's Wilson to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and the Bills will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
This is Coleman with the ground. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Allen. Flushed out right. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. To throw, it's Allen. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Allen going to throw.
He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Allen. And complete right side to Cook. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. On play action, Allen out to his left. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the Bills will add on to their lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the Giants with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple. To throw is Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. That's pulled in at the 32. 35 yards that time on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen finding Knox there, complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Allen to throw once more. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll give to Cook on the read option. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. In motion goes the tight end. To the air, Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start with a run by Tracy. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Wilson. A throw right side caught by Neighbors. But following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Play action. Now Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 35-yard line. They go play action with Wilson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10.
Wilson will throw again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bills offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. 1st down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Motion man is Shakir.
Throwing now is Allen.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Here's Allen to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Coleman, the man in motion left. Allen now looks to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Allen. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Josh Palmer.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bills will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
On the give, it's Tracy. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing is Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he will have a Giants first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Runs like that, this time on the RPO, is why they call him dangerous.
I love the way you dropped that in there. His decision-making is what makes it all go, because his ability to process so quickly what the defense is doing, make the right read, and then when he takes off and runs, also knows how to protect himself downfield after he's gotten all he can out of a sprint.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Palmer going to go in motion left.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bills. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.